from Williams Arena on the University of Minnesota campus. Welcome to continuing baseline-to-baseline coverage of the Minnesota State High School Boys Basketball Tournament. If there is a Cinderella in Class 4A, it is a Wildcat. The Eagan Wildcats finished fairly far down in their conference standings. They were seventh in the conference standings, and here they are at state. And not only at state, Eagan pulled off a pretty big upset on opening day, beating Park Center by a score of 73-70. Park Center, the number 2 seed, number 2 rated team. Eagan not rated and not seeded in the tournament. Some big free throws down the stretch. They shot real well overall on the day as well. So the Eagan Wildcats, averaging 60 points a game, now butt heads with the Minnetonka Skippers, who are the number 2 seed in the tournament, and the number 3 QRF team. Actually, they're the number 3 seed in the tournament because Park Center was the number 2. So they're the number 3 seed, the number 3 QRF. They're also rated number 4 in the state. Minnetonka and Eagan is this matchup in the Class 4A semifinals. 3 teams have already punched their ticket to Championship Saturday. And Derek Theda had the call on an exciting Mankato East win in Class AAA earlier today. But leading off the day, Totino Grace, the 2-time defending champions, made their way back into the state championship game with a 74-67 win over Minneapolis de La Salle. And then in a game you heard on the Mighty 920 KDHL, Derek calling it. And early on, I was watching the scores while still sitting at Target Center, and Mankato East was down, I think, 14-0. And I just was blown away and thought, oh my gosh, there goes the Big 9. And then every time I kept looking at the score, the Cougars were getting closer. They were getting closer. It was a very close game by halftime. And then in the second half, Mankato East ends up winning the game. I think their biggest lead was actually 11 points. Mankato East, going from being down 14 points, was ahead by 11 points. And when did that happen? Their biggest lead, I guess I'm not sure how to read it on this score sheet here. No, their biggest lead was 8. There it is. Their biggest lead was 8 in the second half with about 7 minutes to go. But Alexandria battled back with them. Alexandria with back-to-back tight games. They had a 2-point win in their quarterfinal over Minneapolis South. And then they battled Mankato East tough in that semifinal game in Class AAA. But Mankato East is into the state championship game, and they will play Totino Grace on Saturday at 1 here at the Barn. And Wayzata has set up their schedule to be here Saturday night at 8 o'clock at Williams Arena to play the winner of this Eagan-Minnetonka game. Wayzata, a 74-48 win over Creighton-Durham Hall. The Metro Player of the Year, Jackson McAndrew, he is something to watch. He just missed out on a triple-double today by only getting 8 blocks. I tried looking at what the record is, but the high school league website doesn't list a record for blocks in a state tournament game. So anyhow, Jackson McAndrew, 25 points, 13 rebounds. He had 3 assists and 8 blocked shots. He's a future Creighton player. He's a good one. And Jackson McAndrew has, and his teammates have Wayzata back into the championship game. Number 1 rated Trojans are the defending champions, and they beat Creighton-Durham Hall 74-48. Creighton-Durham Hall had an interesting path to get into the semifinals as it was. They beat Farmington in an exciting game. Was that yesterday only? I guess it was. They beat Farmington yesterday. Farmington at state for the first time since 1937. And then the Tigers of Farmington picked up a really nice win today in the consolation semifinals. So they do get the chance to play for a consolation trophy. The Farmington Tigers do after their win today over Rogers. But we're getting queued up for Minnetonka and Eagan in the final semifinal of today before a full day of A and double A semifinals tomorrow, also here at Williams Arena and also on the Mighty 920 KDHL. We'll take a break and be back in 1 minute. We'll get you starters. We'll get this game underway more or less on time, really close to 8 o'clock, back in 60 seconds on KDHL.
You said it last year, but you didn't do it. Now you're thinking again, I gotta find someone to take care of my books. And it's never too late. Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service can do that to ensure next year's tax time is much less stressful. From farming to small businesses, Ackerman Accounting and Tax Services will customize a plan that best fits your needs. Just think, you can have an expert take care of your day-to-day and month-to-month accounting tasks, freeing you up to do what you do best, run your business. They even work with individuals. See what they can do for you. Call Ackerman Accounting and Tax Services today, 451-3399.
H&R Block offices in Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville remind you now is the time to get your paperwork in order for tax season. Book your appointment at one of the offices where in-person or drop-off filing is available. No computer program can ask every single possible tax question. The tax professionals in Lakeville, Faribault, and Owatonna average 10 years experience, and you can request the same preparer every year. File your way at H&R Block offices in Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund.
Let's get the stage set for how these teams got here into this semifinal as it is. With the quarterfinal games that took place yesterday, and Class 4A was over at Target Center for those games. Eagan, one of the stories of the tournament, as they upend Park Center, got some big free throws late in the game. They end up knocking off the number 2 seed, number 2 rated Pirates, 73-70. It was Alex Schropfer that had 12 of 15 free throws in the game, including 8 out of 10 in the final minute to help Eagan pull off that big upset. Eagan, by the way, comes into today's game with a record of 18-12 on the season. So Eagan scored the win over Park Center to be here. Minnetonka took it to Coon Rapids. You talk about their opponent today, Eagan being the, what did I say, the 7th place team in the South Suburban Conference. Get this, Coon Rapids finished 11th in their conference, in the Northwest Suburban Conference. So Coon Rapids, congratulations to the Cardinals, I think it is, for getting to state, but Minnetonka took them out 83-36. Had a lot of players putting up some big numbers in that game. Kane and I think it was Ullum each had 19 points as Minnetonka won big. Yesterday, Wayzata beat Rogers. Jackson McAndrew, again the Metro player of the game, and Isaac Olmstead led the way, each scoring 17 points in that win for Wayzata yesterday over Rogers. And then Wayzata defeated Cretin-Durham Hall in today's semi. The Raiders beat Farmington yesterday. A Miles Bollinger three-pointer with under a minute to go lifted the number 5 seed Raiders past number 4 seed Farmington yesterday in what was a rematch of a regular season game that was won by Farmington. And lineups are being introduced right now. Full lineups. And then this game will be underway, scheduled for 8 o'clock, and more or less on time. Winner plays at 8 o'clock again on Saturday night. So Minnetonka, the number 3 seed, they're the higher seeded team. They'll be starting Isa Elamine, a 5'11 junior guard, wears the number 5. Andrew Stefanowicz, a 5'6'2 senior guard, number 11. He is a Mr. Basketball semifinalist, Stefanowicz. Caden Wells, a 6'5 senior forward, wears number 15. A 6'2 senior guard, number 21, Grayson Ullman. And a 6'3 senior guard, number 22, Jordan Kane. The Skippers are coached by Bryce Tesdahl, 9 years, 177 wins, 73 losses. Elamine, Stefanowicz, Wells, Ullman, and Kane. For Eagan, Max Busley is their big scorer at 14 points per game. He's a 6'2 senior. Alex Schropfer, a 6'4 sophomore, wears number 25, scores 12 points a game. He had those big free throws yesterday. Charles Burke, a 6'6 senior, number 30. Is a starter, as well as Liam Madigan, 6'4 senior, number 31 as well. And then I believe that Trevor Searing, a 6'4 senior, number 33, there he is, should wrap up the starting crew for Eagan. The head coach for Eagan is Kevin McKenzie. 16 seasons, 192 wins, 244 losses. Certainly tough seasons, tough schedules every year for both of these teams. Not only is Minnetonka playing teams that finished far down in their conference standings, the Skippers, who are trying to do what the girls team did last weekend and get into and win the state championship game. Minnetonka finished fourth in their conference, and here they're in the Final Four of the state. That's how tough the Lake is. Of course, Wayzata is the team that's already into the state championship game from the Lake Conference. And it's just remarkable how deep these conferences are. Minnetonka fourth in their conference, and Eagan seventh behind Lakeville North, Shakopee, Farmington, who of course is here at state as well, Lakeville South, Prior Lake, and Apple Valley. We're underway with basketball, folks. Roy Koenig courtside at Williams Arena. Rick Vaughn running the show back at the KDHL studios. AM 920, 97.9 FM. Minnetonka with the ball in black. Blue numbers trimmed in white. Basket good as Jordan Kane spins his way up the lane and is fouled as well and will go for the three-point play. I take that back. No basket. Instead, Kane is called on the charge. That's what happened there. He spun up the lane and knocked down a player, and it goes as a charge. So the first call, the first big play early on is a charge against Minnetonka. An Eagan entry pass is intercepted by Kane. And Tonka will go to work with the basketball, push it over to the right side for a high arcing three. Long rebound, Kane gets the rebound off the miss. We're a minute in. This is the 4A semifinal. Driving in, up and through, basket good for Elamine. Elamine 9 points a game. Minnetonka averages 84 points a game. Eagan averages 61. They give up 60, so they play good defense. And again, that's against teams like Lakeville North, who was a section finalist. Shakopee, who was a section finalist against Minnetonka. Farmington, a team at state. So a lot of teams that can put some points on the board. Eagan has played with them all season long. With the basketball, here's Madigan. He drives. His shot is blocked. That shot is blocked by Wells. And at the other end, it'll be Stefanowicz. Loses the ball out of bounds and turned over back to Eagan. An early 2-0 lead for Minnetonka. We're a minute and a half into the first half. Roy with you here, trying to establish a respectable relationship with my computer and not running into a whole lot of success, frankly. Let's see if I'm going to have nope, I don't have anything. I don't have anything on this computer, and a travel call against Eagan. So traveling against the Wildcats. Eagan 18-12, Minnetonka 23-6. Number 4 ranking, number 3 seed, number 3 QRF as well. Eagan, on the other hand, is the 23rd QRF. A 3 reigns in for Stefanowicz. And a 5-0 Skipper lead 2 minutes into the ball game. Crossover dribble by Madigan. He hands it off. Burke. He drives, dishes it out to the right side. A floating 3 misses. Rebound, Ullman. Taking that three-pointer. He's kind of floating in the air, drifting from left to right. The shot just missed the mark. And another charge on Minnetonka. This time it appears to be Ullman that gets called on the foul. That'll be the second foul on Minnetonka, the first on Ullman. And trailing 5-0, Eagan will have the ball. The Wildcats lost 5 of their last 8 games to the likes of Lakeville South. A tight 50-44 score as Eagan works with the basketball right in front of me. Burke loses it, picks it up again right along the raised floor here. Hands that ball off to Schropfer, works it around to Busley. And over on the right side, Madigan. They go across the court. 10 seconds to shoot. It's been hard to get the ball inside for the Wildcats. 5 seconds to shoot. Stifling defense. Driving in. Left side shot misses. It never did draw iron. We get a jump ball indication. We were only moments away from the shot clock violation against Eagan, but instead they end up getting a break with a jump ball. But it's actually really not all that much of a break. It's Eagan ball. There's 1 second on the shot clock. They've got to get the shot off quickly. Catching, shooting, it's away in time. It misses. It does draw iron, but the shot misses. Minnetonka gets the ball. 14:45 to go in the first. 5-0 Skippers with the lead. Skippers have won the state tournament 3 times, most recently in 2008. They were here last year but went 0-2. Pull-up jumper in the lane, Stefanowicz. He's got 5. It's 7-0 Minnetonka. 3.5 minutes in. Kane puts a stifling defense on Schropfer. And then Schropfer pushes it ahead. A quick turning looking 3, rims out. Tapped in the air, grabbed by Stefanowicz, off the miss by Busley. And then a foul, racing up that far sideline right in front of the score table. Foul on Eagan. Coach McKenzie inquires about that call. Madigan on the foul, his first, team's first. So for Eagan, a close loss to Lakeville North, lost a 3-point game to Apple Valley after that. Lost a fairly close game to Farmington. They beat Eastview, then lost to Shakopee. Shakopee finished second in the conference behind Lakeville North. Now it's a 9-0 lead. Basket good for Wells. 9-0 Minnetonka. About 4 minutes in. And a 3 is good for Burke. And Eagan is on the board. They've already attempted several three-pointers. That one is in and good, 9-3. 13.5 to go first half. So a lot of these losses have been close. They lost to Lakeville North late in the season, not so close. And then lost to Prior Lake double digits in the final game of the regular season as a shot by Elamine misses, rebounded by the Wildcats. But nonetheless, quite a few of the losses of Eagan have been close games. They've got 12 losses on the season, which is the biggest number of any team in the 4A tournament. Ball knocked away, but picked up again by Schropfer, who steps on the sideline right in front of our broadcast location, and it's another turnover on the Wildcats. Want to say thanks to our sponsors on the Mighty 920, KDHL, stats of the game, H&R Block, Faribault, Owatonna, Lakeville. Faribault Foods, Costco Wholesale Owatonna, First United Bank, Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service, subs of the game, Amesbury Truth, Federated Mutual Insurance, and Owatonna Auto Clinic. We'll be welcoming in Owatonna Heating and Cooling, Owatonna Motor Company, and Prime Garage Door and more as well. Pass left side, Tonka with the basketball, up 9-3, 5 minutes in, leaner by Kane, bounces around and in, Jordan Kane. 19 points yesterday against Coon Rapids. He averages 19 a game, a 6'3 senior, and it is an 11-3 lead for Minnetonka. Eagan attacking the basket to my left. They're in the white uniforms, blue numbers trimmed in green. Burke gives it over on the right side for Busley. He kicks it out along the perimeter. Minnetonka's defense is just all over him. On the floor, trying to protect it. It's like fighting for a fumble in the fall on the football field, and the jump ball this time belongs to Minnetonka. So it's Tonka basketball. Minnetonka, by the way, they have 6 losses on the season. They lost 3 out of their last 4, Edina, Hopkins, and Wayzata. So they kind of limped to the finish line a little bit in the Lake Conference, finished behind Wayzata, Hopkins, and Edina, and in 4th place in the Lake at 7-5. But still, Minnetonka won the games when it counted, beating Prior Lake and Shakopee in sections. A backside, weak side rebound putback basket is good for Caden Wells, and Minnetonka is out to a 13-3 lead on the putback basket. We've got a timeout on the floor on the baseline-to-baseline coverage of the Minnesota State High School Boys Basketball Tournament on the Mighty 920 KDHL. Let's pause for 60 seconds.
Hey, Ken Herbeck here. You want to make your home a more comfortable place but don't think you can afford a top brand heating and cooling system? Well, Carrier has the right solutions for every budget. When you turn to your Carrier expert, Owatonna Heating and Cooling, they'll show you the full lineup of best-in-class home comfort systems and help you pick the one that best fits your home and budget, because everyone can use a little more comfort. Turn to your local Carrier experts, Owatonna Heating and Cooling, today.
Over 200 units to choose from? We're at your state at Owatonna Motor Company, where we have incentives on new vehicles like we haven't seen in a long time. So stop on in. How about this? Ram 2500 and Ram 3500s rebates as high as $9,000, 10% off of MSRP. Ford's got great rebates. Stop in. Ask about Ford's new Flex Buy program with rebates as high as $2,500 at Owatonna Motor Company, where it's one low price, plain and simple, always.
5 minutes into the first half here at Williams Arena. Roy Koenig on the call. Rick Vaughn bailing me out at the Mighty 920 KDHL studios. 5 minutes in, 13-3 Minnetonka with the lead over Eagan. Last year at the state tournament, Minnetonka ended up as the number 4 seed, lost to Eastview in a tight game, and then bowed out of the tournament in a loss to Andover. Meanwhile, for Eagan, their last appearance at state was in 2005, so it's been a few years. Last year, Wayzata, as the number 3 seed, beat Lakeville North in the semifinal, knocking out the number 2 seed. And then Wayzata, in overtime in an exciting game, defeated top seed Park Center, who I believe was the defending champ. Yeah, they were. They won it all in 2022, Park Center did. But last year they got knocked out in the championship. This year, Park Center is the team that lost to Eagan yesterday in the quarterfinals. That was an overtime game last year. Wayzata beating Park Center 75-71 for the state championship. Wayzata, state champs a season ago. We'll talk more about Wayzata on Saturday during the championship game because they're back in the title tilt after they beat Cretin-Durham Hall just before this game here tonight at Williams Arena. Forcing the issue. Double teamed. Eagan player gets it in the corner. Three-pointer misses. Rebound taken down by Ullman of Minnetonka, and they run. He drops it off for Stefanowicz. Step back three. Off the front of the rim. Rebound is grabbed by Bockenstead. He's in off the bench. Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service substitution. No substitute for the great work you'll get at Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service as Bockenstead made that rebound. Then a miss on a look from the right wing side by Eagan. Score remains 13-3 Minnetonka. Pass goes over to the left wing. Tonka running their offense with Ullman on the basketball. Check that. It's Stefanowicz. Stefanowicz on the ball, and he dribbles around the key, gives to Kane. Jordan Kane, a senior guard. Up the lane he goes, and he's blocked, and he'll go to the free throw line. He's fouled while taking a shot, and the foul looks to be on Minnetonka. 21 and 22. All right, well, I think, trying to figure out who got called on the foul. Oh, the foul, not on Minnetonka. What am I saying? It's Burke. Burke on the foul. Burke. The foul's on Eagan. Foul's on Eagan. Looking at my wrong roster. Kane hits the free throw. 14-3 Minnetonka. And Minnetonka rolled yesterday. They won big. 83-36 over Coon Rapids. And both free throws are good. Now it's 15-3. 1 3-pointer is all Eagan has managed in 7 minutes of basketball. Eagan right now on field goals, only 1 of 6. Just getting a shot has been a victory for Eagan. And they're not going to get one here. It's a jump ball. 2 Tonka skippers are all over the ball handler, and that's Leo Erickson off the bench. Now, in this case, the alternating possession is Eagan. But it has been everything they can manage to get a shot. Erickson gets it over to Busley. Busley drives into the top of the lane, cut off there by Elamine. Now on the dribble is Schropfer. Schropfer tosses left corner. Baseline move, gets in close, then was cut off by Richardson off the bench for Minnetonka. 3 seconds to shoot. The shot is up and good. So enough Schropfer on the basket. Enough persistence and protecting the basketball by Eagan. And now it is 15-5 Minnetonka. We're at 10:20 to go in the first half. Driving, spinning, turning, leaning is Jordan Kane. He's pretty fun to watch when he gets in the lane. He's the one that was called on the offensive foul on the first possession of the game, but he's got some pretty good scoring touch. Kane, 19 points per game. Backenstedt with the ball, tosses it on the right side, free throw line extended, top of the key, Erickson, and then he'll leave it off for 23 off the bench. That's Ford, 0-4 to senior. Erickson holds it on the left, passes it to Backenstedt. Down to 8 seconds to shoot on the shot clock from the corner. 3, bubbles around, rebound, put back nicely done by Owen Backenstedt. Egan's going to need plays like that. In that case, Backenstedt just aggressive going after the loose ball on the missed shot from the corner. Backenstedt, who only averages 4 a game, I believe had 15 in yesterday's game, if I read the stat chart right. And I double-checked the stat chart, but my computer is in the dark ages. Here's a steal by Eagan, and the ball will belong to the Wildcats. 17-7 Minnetonka. Tonka scored the first 9 points, then it was 15-3 before Eagan managed a couple of baskets. 9:14 still to go in the first half. We'll take you through some limited stats coming up at halftime, courtesy of H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, Lakeville, and certainly touch base on what's going on in the tournament overall. Semifinals today in AAA and 4A. Semifinals tomorrow in A and AA. We'll have it all on the Mighty 920. KDHL starts at noon tomorrow with Cherry in that first game, and we'll get that stage set during halftime. In the lane, turning, shooting, foul. Will send Schropfer to the line for 2. It'll be the first opportunity at the free throw line for Eagan. Foul on Duke Richardson, a junior off the bench for Minnetonka. 9:01 to play first half. Williams Arena, we've got the lower bowl awfully full, but not jam-packed. Free throw good for Schropfer. He hit 12. His free throw shooting was a story of yesterday's game for Eagan to upset Park Center. He hit 12 for 15 in the game, including 8 out of 10 down the stretch, and that is a pretty good-looking free throw. Right now it is a 6-2 run for Eagan. 17-9. Now they need to turn on their defense against a high-scoring Minnetonka team. As Stefanowicz will flash a play. McKenzie in off the bench playing a little defense on him. 2-3 zone defense by Eagan. Three-pointer Richardson, too strong. Rebound jab to the corner, but that was out of bounds. Last touch by Eagan, so it stays Minnetonka ball, but only 12 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Minnetonka fans are behind me. Eagan fans are over on the far side. Eagan fans, the student section, sitting behind the Eagan bench. Here up the lane, the runner is up and through for El Amin. That's his second basket of the game, back to a 10-point lead. Biggest lead was 12 in this first half for Minnetonka. 8:20 to go in the first half. Stutter step into the front court by Ford. Ford, right to left-hand dribble. Pass is deflected to Media Row. And Stefanowicz comes over and says to Richardson, good job. And then Richardson checks his nose, which may or may not have some blood or a bloody lip. He might have a bloody lip. He's not moving anywhere unless the referee sees that. He's staying in the game. He's not going to volunteer the fact he's got a nick on his lip. Still time to shoot for Eagan. They work the ball around top of the perimeter. McKenzie, right wing side. Outside the arc, though, it's been tough to penetrate. Here's a 3. Little bit of a desperation 3. There's still about 8 seconds on the shot clock. El Amin will take the ball up the floor for Minnetonka. They lead 19-9 under 8 minutes to play first half. El Amin through the lane. Oh, ejected on a thundering block by Charles Burke. The 6'6 senior swats that one out of play. Tonka still has a ton of time on the shot clock, 25 seconds. First year of the shot clock in high school basketball. Elamine backs off a bit. Finds a player inside, outside. Stefanowicz tried to drive, was cut off by Schropfer. Now drives again. Stefanowicz floats, shoots, misses it. And while sitting out of bounds, an Eagan player taps it to a teammate. That was Owen Ford, but he's out of bounds. Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service presenting the substitutions of the game. Coming into the game is Madigan back into the game. And Backenstedt, I believe, also just checked in right now. They join Schropfer and Burke. And there's one more Wildcat out there. Might be Erickson. Minnetonka, meanwhile, has Elamine. The ball is in the hands of Wells. Richardson is out there. So is Stefanowicz. And now the ball tipped away. Sitting down. Backenstedt tips it over to Schropfer, taking it into the front court. There's a turnover on Minnetonka. 10-point deficit for Eagan with 7:15 to play in the first half of this 4A semifinal. The winner makes it to the championship game Saturday night. Loser plays for third. On the left wing side, Busley drives, finds an opening, free throw line, nailed it. And that's what Eagan hasn't been able to do, is just get an open look. Busley drills that one. He's their leading scorer, 14 points a game. He's a senior. The team shot 53%, including 8 for 20 on threes. And right now in the game on three-point field goals, Eagan is 1 for 8. And at the other end, Minnetonka scores. And I believe that was Wells on the basket for Minnetonka. Yes, it was. He has 6 points. And it is 21-11. There's a fadeaway on the elbow. Misses. Madigan. Tonka rebound. Pull up. Stefanowicz drills a three. He's got 8 points. And the lead is 24-11. I was starting to say a few moments ago, 3-point shooting. I think Eagan is about 1 for 6, 1 for 7. Driving in, finding a player outside for a three. That one's well short. Well short on the Eagan 3-point attempt. A battle for the basketball, and Minnetonka will win that. Fight for the ball. Richardson dribbles into the front court and then drops it off for Elamine, who centers the ball for Stefanowicz. We're at 5:45 to go in the first half. 24-11 Minnetonka. On the dribble, Stefanowicz. He's got time. Still 15 to shoot. Drives, floats, shoots, draws the foul. That might be on Busley. Nope, not at all. Backenstedt, rather. So 2 shots coming here for Stefanowicz. 2 for 2 as a team from the free throw line for Minnetonka. 3-point field goals. Tonka 2 for 7. Eagan 1 for 9. That's where we are on that stat. And Stefanowicz shot good. H&R Block stats of the game. Overall, Minnetonka shooting 59%, 10 for 17. Eagan 4 for 15, 27%. H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, Lakeville. Stefanowicz shot good as a team 4 for 4 on free throw shooting. And we have ourselves a little timeout right now. So with that, we get the formal chance to say thanks to our sponsors. And on baseline to baseline coverage of the Minnesota State High School Boys Basketball Tournament on the Mighty 920 KDHL, 97.9 FM, and of course on the app. We'll be back in 1 minute.
This is the month of love. That's why Prime Garage Door and More in Owatonna wants you to fall in love with the look of your home all over again. It's easy with Clopay Garage Doors. Clopay Garage Doors improve the look of your home while saving you money on your energy bill. Call the guys who will help you open new doors. Prime Garage Door and More, 507-413-6699. Visit the new showroom at 4500 North County Road 45 or check samples at primegaragedoor.net.
Back in the 1920s, when an entrepreneur came to town to seek their dream, they needed three things: a place to stay, a knowledgeable banker, and an account with First United Bank. Today, First United Bank in Faribault and Owatonna is still helping young people who are starting out. First United Bank has grown to the size it is today by giving sound financial advice and personal service to its customers for over 100 years. That's why First United Bank is important for young families today. At First United Bank, they didn't invent personal service, they just never forgot it. Member FDIC.
There's 5 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the first half of this second semifinal game for Class 4A on a big day of basketball at the Minnesota State Tournament. 76th year of coverage of the Minnesota State High School Boys Basketball Tournament on the Mighty 920 KDHL. Roy Koenig with you right now. Brad Presteman and Derek Fada helping out on coverage as well. Takes at least two people to replace Gordy Kosfeld. Not on a microphone at this point in time. Well, it looks like Gilligan and the professor made a connection somewhere, because now my computer is coming back to life a little bit. Just want to be able to share some stats and things of that sort, some detailed stats besides what's on the ribbon here at Williams Arena. And they certainly do treat us well inside the barn with some nice stats and a great view of the action. Almost a chance to bring home a souvenir once in a while with a couple of basketballs that came by me during the girls' tournament for some coverage. Courtside at Williams Arena. Eagan with the basketball, down by 15 points. Three-pointer misses. They continue to struggle from the outside. 26-11 after those two free throws. And at the other end of three-pointer misses, Eagan will get the rebound. 26-11. Here's a corner three again. It's good for Busley. He had 8 points in the win over Park Center, averages 14 points a game. He's their leading scorer. Max Busley, a 6'2 senior for the Wildcats. And that three makes the score 26-14 with 4:35 to go in the first half. Minnetonka working toward the basket on my right, dressed in black-blue numbers. Bounce pass Ullman, got that inside. Now they go inside to Richardson, and Duke Richardson banks it home. Averages 9 points a game, the 6'1 junior off the bench. And Tonka has the Wildcats doubled up at 28-14, 4:10 to go in the first. Busley on the dribble. Gets hounded by Kane. Now a drive, a lean, and it couldn't get it to roll it over the rim. So Schropfer misses in close, rebounded by Minnetonka. And Stefanowicz, future NDSU player, will walk the ball across the timeline, pass it over to Wells on the right. He gives to Kane, top of the key, left wing side. They're not dribbling, they're passing. Now they're shooting, and it's short. And Stefanowicz feels that either he was fouled or that the ball was blocked, because the shot was nowhere near. And so Stefanowicz feels that a call was missed, because either he felt he was fouled or maybe at least the shot was blocked, that they would maintain the ball. Instead, the ball belongs to Eagan. Again, shooting percentage is 55 for Minnetonka overall, just 28 for Eagan to this point. They trail 28-14, 2.5 to go in the first half. Ball out of bounds off Minnetonka, stays Wildcat basketball. So Eagan was at state in 1998. They finished second. They came back the next year, did not place, then 01 and 05. But that was the last appearance in 2005. So it's been a bit. Down low in the low post, that's Sering. And then a baseline jumper, misses, tapped once, tapped twice. Offensive rebound is Schropfer. Step back three, Burke off the heel of the rim. And out of, the last touch by Minnetonka. So with 14 seconds to shoot, Eagan does still have the basketball. Eagan basketball to inbound baseline left. Jumper, baseline, good for Busley. So he's heating up a little bit. 7 points for him, 28-16. The clock goes below 3 minutes in the first half. On the dribble, Stefanowicz into the front court. He hands it off to Elamine. Elamine, a junior. There are 4 seniors and then the 1 junior among the starters for Minnetonka. 4 seniors and a sophomore among the starters, at least for Eagan. Both teams, of course, have gone to reserves as well. Tonka works it in, left side, running out of time on the shot clock, around and around. Stefanowicz takes the shot, it misses, got it off in time, offensive rebound, but I think somebody got clobbered. There was a foul in there. There was a foul against Minnetonka. And the foul is on Wells. It's his first and Minnetonka's 5th foul. 3 fouls on Eagan so far. 28-16 Minnetonka. We're down to 2:15 to play in the first half. Trying to free himself up for a 3-point look is Burke. Now on the right wing side, that is Madigan. Corner, Burke, 3 on its way, missed it. Madigan rebound, back up, off. Madigan rebound again, and he has it swiped out of his hands by Jordan Kane. Minnetonka ball. Under 2 to play, first half, 28-16 Skippers. Elamine hands that one off. Stefanowicz, left side, open 3. It settles in there. It's a 3 for Grayson Ullman. He's a 20-point player per game. It's his first points of this game. 31-16 Minnetonka, 90 seconds remaining in the first half. Ball stripped away. Eagan player slides on the floor as he gets it back. Finds a teammate. The handoff comes to Burke. They are down to 14 to shoot. Burke finds just a sliver to dash up the lane. His shot is blocked. Fast break the other way. Ullman waits. It's swatted away by Sarung. Fast break the other way for Eagan. A corner jumper is missed. Offensive rebound for the Wildcats. And then a whistle and a foul against Minnetonka. A little bit of a hectic pace at times. Foul against the Skippers. Foul on Minnetonka. And the inbound play for Eagan. They've got plenty of time. Well, because of the foul, they get it reset to 20 seconds, so there's all sorts of time. Pass on the right side for Eagan with Schropfer. Flips it over on the left side. About 5 seconds on the shot clock. Missed the shot. A foul on the rebound. So the rebound was grabbed by Schropfer, and then he was fouled apparently by Elamine. New into the game, by the way, is Bodai Abagoya. Malachi Bodai Ablagola, he's a junior from Minnetonka. He checked in at the previous opportunity, Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service. Substitutions of the game. Free throw good, one more coming for Schropfer. 3 for 3 for him from the line. Free throw shooting for Eagan. 4 for 4. He's done all the free throw shooting for Eagan. He's the one that had the 12 for 15 day yesterday, and that was also most of the free throw shooting for Eagan in their big-time upset win over Park Center. With the ball is Elamine, front court. 30 seconds, by the way. There is, shot clock is running. There is a difference between the game clock and the shot clock. We're closing seconds of the first half. 31-18 Minnetonka. Ball bounced into the lane. And the shot is up, around, and good for Bodai Abagoya. 33-18, under 10 seconds to go. Eagan front court, pushed over to Schropfer. Schropfer with 3 seconds to go. Drives, shoots, missed it. Rebound Tonka, no chance to launch the ball the other way. And we go to the half. Minnetonka, they jumped out to a big lead. And they've got a big lead here at the break. They're up by 15 points. At one point, they were up 15-3. Eagan started to find their range a little bit after that, but it is still a mountain to climb for the Wildcats, but they are at least in contention as we move into halftime here from Williams Arena. So with half upon us, 33-18, Minnetonka in front. We'll get our halftime report started on the Mighty 920 KDHL, Faribault, Minnesota in 90 seconds.
Every part counts at Amesbury Truth, and the most important one is the part you'll play when you join their team. As the leading provider of window and door products in North America, Amesbury Truth has a part for you. Right now, they're hiring, and those positions come with competitive wages, benefits, and plenty of opportunities too. So you never stop growing. Isn't it time you open the door to a career at Amesbury Truth? Get details and apply online at amesburytruth.com/careers.
Costco is hiring team members at the Costco Depot located in Owatonna. If you have the desire to work in a fast-paced environment with a diverse group of people, look no further. They are hiring entry-level positions and employees in refrigerated and dry environments. Starting pay is $19.50 an hour, with raises based on the number of hours worked, currently topping out at $29.30. Benefits start after 60 days of employment. Apply online at Costco.com. Costco is an equal opportunity employer.
You said it last year, but you didn't do it. Now you're thinking again, I gotta find someone to take care of my books. And it's never too late. Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service can do that to ensure next year's tax time is much less stressful. From farming to small businesses, Ackerman Accounting and Tax Services will customize a plan that best fits your needs. Just think, you can have an expert take care of your day-to-day and month-to-month accounting tasks, freeing you up to do what you do best, run your business. They even work with individuals. See what they can do for you. Call Ackerman Accounting and Tax Services today, 451-3399.
We're at the half at the Williams Arena, University of Minnesota campus. Roy with you here on the Mighty 920 KDHL with coverage of the state high school boys basketball tournament. We're at the half of our second Class 4A semifinal. Minnetonka leading 33-18 over Eagan. Earlier in this session, it was Wayzata beating Cretin-Durham Hall 74-48. Wayzata the 1 seed, Cretin-Durham Hall the 5 seed. In games earlier today at Williams Arena in the semifinals for Class 3A, Totino Grace moved back into the championship game by beating the same team they beat in the title game last year, De La Salle, in today's semifinal, 74-67. The big guy for Totino Grace, Johnson, had a 28-point game. He struggled a bit in the first round game yesterday, Totino Grace against Stewartville, which was an incredible game. It also brought to light, kind of going off on a tangent here a little bit, just brought more attention to the fact that this tournament is not seeded 1 through 8. And the Minnesota State High School League has set guidelines in place to allow tournaments to now be seeded 1 through 8. I believe volleyball might be the first one that has made the commitment to that for the season ahead. And I don't think there's any doubt that other sports are going to do this. Stewartville should not have been essentially the 8th seed in the tournament. I know it was a random draw, but fact of the matter is they played the number 1 seed in the first round, and coach for Stewartville was not happy about that. And going into the tournament, some comments he made on the Rochester Post Bulletin were certainly of disappointment and motivation, and the comments today in the Star Tribune are more like he's ticked off. And so anyhow, look for that to change as soon as possible, seeding the tournaments. Because I know you got to beat everybody anyway, but if the idea is to get the top 2 teams in the championship, it's tough. It's a real tough scenario for the 3 unseeded teams to just be a random draw. And for Stewartville, they were unlucky enough to not even be seeded 4 or 5, so maybe that brings up the question, how on earth was Stewartville, who was rated number 3 in the state and had a great QRF, how were they not seeded in any of those first 5 spots, which might be a topic for another avenue to that topic. The fact is 4 of the top 5 teams in the state made the tournament in Class 3A, and Stewartville playing in southern Minnesota, playing in a conference that has tough teams, but also has some smaller schools in their HVL conference, some AA and even some single A teams like Goodhue, so that might have worked against Stewartville. But yeah, Stewartville losing to Totino Grace, that was a big topic around the arenas today, especially after Stewartville's comments, and you got to feel feel tough for them. Hey, congrats to Stewartville, though. They bounced back today and picked up a win in overtime, no less, in the consolation semifinal. So the Tigers get the chance to play again. They'll play Minneapolis South in the consolation final, which is tomorrow afternoon at Concordia. But Totino Grace will play Mankato East in the championship game for Class 3A. Derek Theda had the call right here on the Mighty 920 KDHL of that game. And in that game, Mankato East got off to a really bad start. They were down maybe 14-0, something to that effect. Mankato East rallied, had the game close by halftime, and won the game 65-62. Alexandria had chances late to maybe tie the game and couldn't quite get the shot to go. So what a thrilling way to the championship game for Mankato East. And they will play Totino Grace, the two-time defending champ, Saturday at 1 o'clock. Meanwhile, in Class AA, the semifinals were set in yesterday's games as Breck beat Waseca 76-42, and Minnehaha Academy down Pequot Lakes 63-47. Also yesterday, Albany rallied from a first-half deficit down by 15 points to win by 21 points. Albany beating Jackson County Central 87-66. And it was Lake City scoring an overtime win. They were down late yesterday, last night over at Target. Lake City from section 1, obviously. Lake City ends up beating Pelican Rapids 72-61 in overtime. And they are in the semifinals tomorrow here at Williams Arena. The Class A semifinals were set earlier today. Cherry, the top seed, defeated the defending champs Russell Tyler Ruthin 78-46. It was Nevis beating Mountain Lake Area Comfrey 78-54. West Central area in their first trip to state scored a 64-53 win over a Heritage Christian Academy. And Fertile Beltrami beat Goodhue 64-57. Let's see, how'd Goodhue do in that game? I finally have a stat chart to look at. Goodhue ended up shooting just 35%. Fertile Beltrami shot 39%. So those things were close. Points in the paint were close. Second chance opportunities were a little bit in Fertile Beltrami's benefit. 16-6. Fast break points in favor of, I think it's the Falcons of Fertile Beltrami over Goodhue, 13-2 in fast break points. They out-rebounded Goodhue 39-32. Only forced 10 turnovers for the Goodhue Wildcats. So a tight ball game, very tight ball game. But Goodhue ends up taking the loss in that game that Brad Presteman had here on KDHL a little while ago from Target Center. 57-64. No, I take that back. 64-57. Fertile Beltrami with the win over Goodhue out of southern Minnesota. Players are getting set for the second half. We'll get through our stats of the first half as we continue on our halftime report in 2 minutes. It is a 33-18 lead. Minnetonka leading over Eagan here in this 4A semifinal. Back on the Mighty 920 KDHL in 2 minutes.
H&R Block offices in Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville remind you now is the time to get your paperwork in order for tax season. Book your appointment at one of the offices where in-person or drop-off filing is available. No computer program can ask every single possible tax question. The tax professionals in Lakeville, Faribault, and Owatonna average 10 years experience, and you can request the same preparer every year. File your way at H&R Block offices in Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund.
Hey, Ken Herbeck here. Do you want to make your home a more comfortable place but don't think you can afford a top brand heating and cooling system? Well, Carrier has the right solutions for every budget. When you turn to your Carrier expert, Owatonna Heating and Cooling, they'll show you the full lineup of best-in-class home comfort systems and help you pick the one that best fits your home and budget, because everyone can use a little more comfort. Turn to your local Carrier experts, Owatonna Heating and Cooling, today.
Over 200 units to choose from. We're at you say at Owatonna Motor Company, where we have incentives on new vehicles like we haven't seen in a long time. So stop on in. How about this? Ram 2500 and Ram 3500s rebates as high as $9,000, 10% off of MSRP. Ford's got great rebates. Stop in. Ask about Ford's new Flex Buy program with rebates as high as $2,500 at Owatonna Motor Company, where it's one low price, plain and simple, always.
This is the month of love. That's why Prime Garage Door and More in Owatonna wants you to fall in love with the look of your home all over again. It's easy with Clopay Garage Doors. Clopay Garage Doors improve the look of your home while saving you money on your energy bill. Call the guys who will help you open new doors. Prime Garage Door and More, 507-413-6699. Visit the new showroom at 4500 North County Road 45 or check samples at primegaragedoor.net.
H&R Block, Faribault, Owatonna, Lakeville presents our stats of the game. Individual scoring, Minnetonka, 10 points for Stefanowicz, 6 apiece for Wells and Kane, 4 for Elamine, 3 for Ullman, 2 for Richardson, and 2 for Bodai Abagoya. And individual scoring, 7 points for Busley, 6 for Schropfer, 3 for Burke. That's it. Think about that, 18 points in the first half. This defense for Minnetonka has totally derailed Eagan. Now keep in mind, Eagan only averages 60 points a game anyway. They're used to playing defensive games and playing in that South Suburban Conference. They just happen to be kind of the defensive side because there are some awfully high-scoring teams in the South Suburban as well. So those are the individual scoring notes. Rebounding leader is Stefanowicz with 4 for the Skippers. Rebounding 3 each for Schropfer and Madigan. The overall rebounds is 16-10 in favor of Minnetonka. Turnovers are even at 4 apiece. Points in the paint, that's strongly on the Skippers' side, 18-4. Points off turnovers, Minnetonka has taken more advantage of their turnover advantage, or taken more advantage of the turnovers that Eagan has committed. 9-2 in favor of Minnetonka in points off turnovers. Field goal shooting 54% for the Skippers. They've only taken 24 shots. And for Eagan, they are shooting 22% on 6 of 27 shooting so far. So a defensive battle for this game. And we move into the second half on the mighty 920 KDHL, Faribault, Minnesota. Roy with you here courtside. Noon tomorrow, it's back underway with semifinal action. And it will be all-day semifinals tomorrow and all-day state championship games on Saturday. Today has been fun with a mix of some Class A games, that AAA Mankato East thriller over Alexandria, and then this 4A game. There is a no-look pass to a player cutting up the lane, Ullman. He's fouled, and free throws are coming for him. Sarung is called on the foul. I believe that's his first. And at the line is Ullman. Ullman, 3 points in the first half, had 19 points in yesterday's win, but they scored 80-some points yesterday. And the second free throw on its way. Second one is good. So 34-18. After missing the first through, Ullman, missing the first free throw, Ullman gets the second free throw. 35-18. I blinked and missed. They didn't have it on the scoreboard quickly, and I was looking at my sheet. Apparently he did make them both. So 35-18 is the score. Ball knocked out of bounds by Minnetonka. Inbound for Eagan. They're going to the basket to my right. Eagan in white. Blue numbers, gold, green trim. There's an entry pass knocked away. Tonka in the black uniforms. Blue numbers, white trim, Minnetonka. Coach Tesdahl, dressed in a suit and tie. Looking sharp. A little bit more casual for Coach McKenzie. Still dressed in a nice polo and slacks. But the best dress award for this game belongs to Mr. Tesdahl. As that shot misses, fast break the other way. Layup is good for Elamine. Quick transition for Minnetonka. And it is 37-18. And now Eagan will go to work. Eagan has taken a lot of time to find open shots in this game. And there's an entry pass that's knocked away. It was intended for Burke, but a pair of Skippers were there to defense against him. Still 20 on the shot clock for Eagan. But all game long, getting a shot has been just really, really tough for the Wildcats. And I think that might be a 5-second violation, a turnover on Eagan. So the first turnover of the second half charged to the Wildcats. We're about a minute into the second half. Minnetonka lost a close game to start the tournament a year ago and then lost out in the consolation round. There was about a 15-year gap from last year to the previous year that Minnetonka was at state in 2008. Meanwhile, it's been 19 years since Eagan was at the state tournament. And the pass goes over to the right side. Stefanowicz looking for room. Nice sharp pass inside. Kane up, around, and off. Offensive rebound, a whistle. A whistle and a... Now, was it a foul or was it a jump ball or a turnover? It's a turnover on Minnetonka is what it is. Turnover on Minnetonka. Maybe dragged his foot a little bit, but indeed there's a turnover. They're giving Burke credit for a steal on the play, actually. So, Eagan ball from the right corner. Oh, just missed a three. It looked good off his hands. Missed. Transitioning the other way is Ullman on the run into the front court. Skippers, who have a big lead, don't need to push it, but basketball teams nowadays only go on one speed most times, and that's full throttle ahead. Elamine up the lane. He tried to thread a pass through to Wells, and it goes out of bounds. Turnover on Minnetonka. So while it might have been 19 years since Eagan has been to the state tournament, no one in Farmington is going to shed any tears for them. Farmington at state, they're in the consolation final at state for the first time in 87 years. As Busley puts it up and through, first points of the second half for Eagan. It took about 2.5 minutes, or almost 2.5 minutes for Eagan to get their first points. And now the ball out of bounds, turnover on Minnetonka. So the Skippers have had 2 or 3 turnovers right away here in the second half. 1937 is the previous time that Farmington was at state. They had fantastic community support yesterday. 2 South Suburban teams here at state. Eagan, the other one, of course. But great turnout yesterday at Target Center, and hopefully a lot of folks were able to support them in the game at the consolation semifinal today. Farmington won that, putting up 98 points in the game. Eagan has the ball in the front court, and a little bit of a lane to go to the basket. And we've got a foul. A foul on Eagan going after an offensive rebound. Sarang is called on the foul. That's his second. Team's second. No fouls on Minnetonka in the second half. Almost 3 minutes into the second half. Minnetonka 37-20. Elamine hands the ball off to Kane, drops it to Stefanowicz, works it left side, finding a little opening, and a floater is good for Ullman. Tonka does a nice job moving the ball around without putting it on the floor. 39-20 Skippers. Right wing side with Ford. Now out top, Madigan, shot over the defender, missed it. Madigan reaches for his own rebound. Double team, passes to the corner, baseline jumper, around and in. I believe, was that a 3 or a 2? That was Schropfer, and apparently that was a 3. It was a 3 from the corner. 39-23 Skippers, 14.5 minutes to go in the second half. Semifinal 4A basketball, Mighty 920 KDHL, KDHL app. Online as well. Pass underneath. Oh, that was a tough pass. It was trying to thread through defenders. Eagan comes up with it. Fast break the other way, and that pass to the low post was intercepted, so a turnover the other way. Wells creates that turnover. And now it's Stefanowicz in the front court. The future Bison with the baseline jumper. Nice looking shot. And Stefanowicz, who had 10 in the first, has 12 now in the game. It's 41-23. Minnetonka under 14 minutes to go. On the dribble, Busley drives in. Little fake, turns around, shoots, and didn't get it to go. Offensive rebound, and then double teamed, and we might have a jump ball created there. So a good offensive rebound by Owen Ford, but he couldn't do anything with the ball, and Stefanowicz tied up with him. So how are the Section 1 teams doing? Farmington lost, and then they won. Stewartville lost, and then they won. Lake City won. They're in the semifinal. And Goodhue, who was an underdog today, they lost. So that's your Section 1 update. Multiple teams from the HVL, multiple teams from the Lake, multiple teams from the South Suburban Conference. Here is a shot that comes from the left side. It misses. That shot was taken by Ullman. Now to the other end. In the lane, missed. Eagan, offensive rebound, wide open. Put back basket good for Schroepfer. He has 11 points. It's 41-25. Eagan crawling back into this a little bit. Their biggest deficit, I've got to figure that out here. Take a look at that. Biggest lead, largest lead, 19 points. The biggest difference, shot misses for Minnetonka. Defensive rebound, Burke. Some backcourt pressure. Also, a player fell down for Minnetonka. He's slow getting back on defense. Eagan in the front court. I guess right now they're down by 16 and they throw the ball away. No, it was tipped. It looked like maybe it was an airmail, but the pass was tipped. So it will remain Eagan ball. They've got lots of time, 22 on the shot clock. Coming into the game is Bodai Abagoya. In addition to Richardson, your Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service substitutions of the game. Tax time approaching, and get your books done. See Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service. Owatonna. Eagan basketball down 41-25, 12 and a half to go. With the ball is Buckstedt. Pick and roll. High off glass. It works. The 6'5" senior sets the screen, catches the pass, dumps it in, 41-27. Again, biggest lead, 19 points early in this second half when they were ahead 37-18. Since then, it's been like 9-4 in favor of Eagan. Here is a college three, rattled home by Ullman, his second three of the ball game, and now 44-27, 12-minute mark remaining. Ball almost knocked free. Eagan gets it down low, and then a foul. Buckstedt will go to the free throw line. Foul against Duke Richardson. Should be his second. Team's first. And at the line, Buckstedt, who is 4 points in. That's his average, but he had a big game scoring double digits yesterday. In the upset win for Eagan over Park Center. Park Center won their game today, so they'll play Farmington in the consolation final. That game is tomorrow actually Saturday. Wait, what day is tomorrow? 22nd? Yeah, tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then the championship and third place games are on Saturday the 23rd. Free throw good. Second free throw. Line drive shot good. Both free throws are up and in. And that makes the score 44-29. We get a timeout on the floor at this point. 44-29. Minnetonka with the lead. A little under 12 minutes to go in the second half of this 4A semifinal. More basketball on the Mighty 920. KDHL and Faribault in 60 seconds.
Back in the 1920s, when an entrepreneur came to town to seek their dream, they needed three things: a place to stay, a knowledgeable banker, and an account with First United Bank. Today, First United Bank in Faribault and Owatonna is still helping young people who are starting out. First United Bank has grown to the size it is today by giving sound financial advice and personal service to its customers for over 100 years. That's why First United Bank is important for young families today. At First United Bank, they didn't invent personal service, they just never forgot it. Member FDIC.
Every part counts at Amesbury Truth, and the most important one is the part you'll play when you join their team. As the leading provider of window and door products in North America, Amesbury Truth has a part for you. Right now, they're hiring, and those positions come with competitive wages, benefits, and plenty of opportunities too. So you never stop growing. Isn't it time you open the door to a career at Amesbury Truth? Get details and apply online at amesburytruth.com/careers.
44-29, Minnetonka with the lead over Eagan here in this 4A semifinal. The winner battles defending state champion Wayzata, who beat Cretin-Durham Hall 74-48. Earlier today, Mankato East scored a tough 65-62 win over Alexandria. They didn't do it in easy fashion. Mankato East got way behind early in the game. They were down by 14 points right out of the gate. Ended up going ahead by 8 points in the second half before winning by 3. 65-62 was the score there. A couple of notes on Mankato East. What stands out for Mankato East on the score sheet? 3 players in double figures led by Schweim. They ended up with a little bit of an advantage in the rebounding category. They also had a nice advantage in points in the paint. They actually had a disadvantage in points in the paint. Their advantage came from the bench and a bit in the way of second chance points. Mankato East did grab 10 offensive rebounds and turned those into some points. So Mankato East from the Big Nine, they'll play for the title against Totino Grace on Saturday afternoon. Back underway with action with Minnetonka with the basketball and the lead, 44-29 over Eagan. A shot from the right wing misses, rebounded by Eagan. Wildcat basketball. Bustler hands it off to his left. They go to work at the end of the barn floor to my right. Bumping in the lane. Shot up and off. Good defense by Minnetonka. Offensive rebound, however, for Schroepfer. Back up and in. Eagan getting as close as they've been in a long time. 13-point game, 44-31. There's still 11 minutes to go. And 13 points is not that many. A lot of basketball to go. Here is a shot from the free throw line missed. Offensive rebound for Minnetonka picked up by Richardson. But meanwhile, we have a collision and a stacking of bodies underneath the basket. Foul is against Owen Ford. That is foul number 1 on Ford, number 3 on Eagan. 1 foul on Tonka here in the second half. Kane almost lost that ball out of bounds off the inbound. Maybe didn't have his eyes on the ball, was starting to run the offense before he caught the inbound pass, but he got away with it. Kane, basket, and a foul. And he got away with that too. And he'll go to the line to attempt a 3-point play. Foul is on Bachstadt, his second. That is the team's 4th. And at the line is Kane. Now 46-31. Attempting to finish off the 3-point play. And as a team, Minnetonka 7 for 7 on free throws. 47-31. 10:40 remaining second half. Minnetonka trying to get a date with fellow conference opponent Wayzata and Lake Conference champion Trojans as well on Saturday night to cap the winter sports season. But they've got to hang on here. In the lane, or baseline shot misses. Rebound Tonka. 16-point lead Minnetonka, 10:15 to go. Stefanowicz a pull-up, college 3. It's short. He'll be playing college ball next year with NDSU. And now the offensive rebound. Kane, the fadeaway in the lane. It goes. I believe we're at 15 points for Kane. Is that possible? Well, maybe not that many, but Kane's having a big game. 11 points is where he's at. Kane with 11. 6 in the first half, 5 in the second half. That shot, leaner, Busley, contested, missed it. Defensive rebound, Minnetonka on the run. Stefanowicz weaves his way through a pack of Wildcats and feeds it over to the right-hand side. Ullman spin, move to the baseline, leans and scores. And Grayson Ullman, a 20-point average per game for him. He is well into double digits as Minnetonka's lead is 51-31. So Minnetonka right now on a 7-0 run to extend the lead out to 20, which is now their biggest lead of the game after Eagan had pulled within 13. Here's a college 3. Nothing but net for Issa El-Amin, his first 3 of the game. And this is now a 10-0 run for Minnetonka with 9 minutes to go. 54-31 over the Wildcats. double team and a foul committed by Stefanowicz, but he had not committed a foul yet. Aggressively going after the basketball and the ball handler there. That's his first. And the first on Minnetonka for it should be the second on Minnetonka, isn't it? Richardson had one. Should be the second on Minnetonka of the half. Scoreboard probably will catch up in that regard. Eagan basketball. Front court for the Wildcats. Schropfer. Shot rolls around and off. Tapped once. And then torn down by Kane. He'll race into the front court. And then put on the brakes. Toss the ball over to Elamine. He hands it off to Stefanowicz. The senior guard works to his left. And just kind of running a little clock, setting up the offense maybe more so than that, getting everyone in position. Then Elamine's pass out top, little fake by Kane, goes in, floater to the left, and he drills it. Jordan Kane, 7 points in the second half, 13 points in the game, 56-31 now, 25-point lead with 8 minutes to go. Fouled as he was attempting a pass. Madigan was fouled. And that might be the second on Stefanowicz. And it should be the third team foul of the half on Minnetonka. Looks to be 4 or 5 team fouls on Eagan in the second half. Bounce pass in, wide open for a look. And it's good off the rim, off the backboard and through. Schropfer, 10 points in the second half, 16 points in the game. That ends a 12-0 run by Minnetonka. Still a big deficit for Eagan to make up, 56-34 with 7:45 remaining in the second half. 99.20 KDHL, Faribault, Minnesota, 97.9 FM and on the KDHL app. Here's a college three. That one doesn't go for Elamine. Rebound weak side, Schropfer. Front court, his pass into the corner, jabbed away but still held onto by Burke. Swings that over right side for Busley. Busley baseline jumper in and out. Rebound is Wells for Minnetonka. Skippers come racing up the floor. Into the front court is Ullman. Ullman then does a quick little drive. Reverse layup good. Grayson Ullman. Minnetonka with 3 players in double figures. Ullman's at 14 points now. And it's 58-34. Low post area with the basketball is Sering. Back to him. Bangs, and heaves it up there, but a foul is coming up on Wells, it appears, Caden Wells. Wells on the foul, which should be his second. That was a nice reverse layup by Ullman. And there is a timeout on the floor. Timeout taken by the Eagan side. Let's go ahead and pause for 30 seconds ourselves. State semifinals, Minnetonka is up by 24 points. We've got more basketball in 30 seconds.
Costco is hiring team members at the Costco Depot located in Owatonna. If you have the desire to work in a fast-paced environment with a diverse group of people, look no further. They are hiring entry-level positions and employees in refrigerated and dry environments. Starting pay is $19.50 an hour with raises based on the number of hours worked, currently topping out at $29.30. Benefits start after 60 days of employment. Apply online at Costco.com. Costco is an equal opportunity employer.
(58-34), Minnetonka leading over Eagan. Eagan's last appearance at state was 05. So one of the teams that we're going to see later, not tonight obviously, West Central area, that'll be one of the games early tomorrow. That's a Class A game. West Central area is in their first ever state tournament appearance. They're a combination of a few smaller communities, and we'll get into that tomorrow. Kensington and Elbow Lake, and a few other towns. Whistle stops play. There's a foul on Minnetonka. And not only do some of the big school conferences, Northwest Suburban, Southwest Suburban, Lake Conference, have multiple teams at state. Obviously, the HBL has multiple teams at state. Three-pointer from the corner by Eagan. That misses. That goes out of bounds. But the conference with Mountain Lake Comfrey, or what is it, Mountain Lake area Comfrey, and is it Russell Tyler Ruthden? The conference. So there's a lot of conferences that have multiple teams at state. We always make a big deal about the big school conferences, but there's some small school conferences that are well represented at state too. Around and around he goes. The shot misses for Sering of Eagan, and Minnetonka gets the rebound with 6.5 minutes to go. 58-34. Wow, long three is buried by Ullman. I'm pretty sure that was a college three. You've got the yellow marker. I don't even know if it's maroon. It's a yellow tape on the floor here at the barn that indicates the high school three. But of course, the barn has the maroon college three. And a lot of these guys, just like their female fellow students last week, the girls basketball players, they shoot some long threes. They're not worried about the high school arc too often. Madigan with his first basket of the ball game. 61-36. Minnetonka with the lead. As a skipper puts up a shot that misses, he had a clouder of Wildcats around him apparently. Missed the shot, and Eagan gets the rebound. It's not a pack of Wildcats, I've learned from the Town Square Media Research Department. In any case, one of those Wildcats picked up the rebound, and then the shot at the other end skips around the rim, and Madigan consecutive baskets. Eagan needs a run, needs it soon. 5:05 to go, down 61-38. Elamine looks to the coach, visits with the coach, and decides that they're going to take a quick timeout. We'll keep it here at this point on the timeout. And say thanks to H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville presenting our stats of the game. How's this for a stat? We have had 2 overtime games so far. One of the consolation games was overtime today. I think it was Stewartville's game. And then the overtime game that we had last night with Lake City rallying to victory. So we've had 2 overtime games. There's been one 1-point game. That was Cretin-Durham Hall defeating Farmington in the quarterfinals. There's been one 2-point game here at State, Alexandria's quarterfinal win. And there have been 3 3-point games here at State. That Stewartville overtime consolation win was a 3-point game. Mankato East win over Alexandria in the semifinals today was a 3-point victory. And Eagan's 3-point upset win of Park Center was a 3-point win. So those are the tight games. There have been a couple of games that have been lopsided and some running time a couple of times. But that would be 5 games, unless I missed one, 5 games decided by 3 points or less. Eagan is going to need a big rally in order to do something like that in this game. They've only got 5:01 to play. They trail Minnetonka 61-38. Tonka came in with a 23-6 record. And not to put the cart in front of the horse just yet, but against Wayzata, Minnetonka lost 103-88 and lost 98-87. If Tonka holds on to win, and with 5 minutes to go, they're up by 23 points. If Minnetonka holds on to win, they'll be looking to reverse the trend against Wayzata, Lake Conference champions, who have already booked their night for Friday night. As play is set to resume, Minnetonka with the inbound. Fans in the stands enjoying things today. I've chatted with quite a few people who are here. They're basketball fans. Been here all day. Not necessarily a Minnetonka or a fan of Wayzata or a fan of Mankato East. They're a fan of basketball. And there's some good basketball going on. There's a 3-point try missed. Eagan rebounds. Madigan on the rebound. Wildcat ball. 4:35 to play. They trail 61-38 to Tonka. Left-hand side, Burke. Pass down low, intercepted. It was stolen away by Bodai Abagoya. He is a player off the bench. Stefanowicz on the dribble on the right wing side. Kane tries to direct him traffic-wise. 10 seconds to shoot. Stefanowicz goes through the free throw circle, backs off. 5 seconds to shoot. Skip pass. 2 seconds, 1 second. The shot is away, and it was offline. And they will sound the buzzer on the shot clock violation. I think on that shot clock violation, you can just take the ball and go, but the Eagan players stopped and handed the ball off to the official. A lot of times players need to know you don't stop on the shot clock violation buzzer. This one is out of bounds off of Eagan, so it's Minnetonka ball. 61-38. The Minnetonka fans are trying to do their coaching job. They want to get Mr. Vose into the game. In the last game, Cretin-Durham Hall fans were chanting for a player. Eventually he came in, and I think the kid hit a three right away. Just one of those players a little deeper on the bench. Minnetonka with the big lead. There's a great pass. A great pass from Stefanowicz, and then Ullman with another reverse layup. 63-38 with 3:15 to go. Coach is not quite ready to empty the bench and get some of those players that see more limited time an opportunity to play in this game. And there's a shot that misses. Eagan, I'm sure, at a short bench yesterday. Minnetonka probably a little deeper in their one-sided win over Coon Rapids. There's a three. Goodness gracious. Grayson Ullman with a monster second half. Ullman with 19 points or 22 points. And now Minnetonka starting to get ready to empty the bench, and the fans appreciate it. 66-38. Here's a steal. Here's Kane. Fouled. He might have been looking dunk, and Burke was going to have none of that. So Burke commits the foul, and that'll send Kane to the line for two instead of a dunk. Alex Bose is getting set to go in. So he's getting set to come into the game, along with several other skippers, as Kane at the line will shoot the first free throw. That's the first free throw miss for Minnetonka in the game. So Eagan sends in a number of players as Strunk has come in. Erickson has come in. Montour has come in. Backenstad is in. And 23 Ford. Meanwhile, for Minnetonka, Vose is into the game. And what's that? 33 over there. Bengala is into the game. Richardson in. Kane shooting his second free throw. Missed it. Rebound is Backenstad. So we're down to 2.5 minutes to go. Both teams giving a lot of players the chance to get on this University of Minnesota Williams Arena floor. Backenstad, an entry pass, banks it up and in. 66-40. Minnetonka on their way into the championship game on Saturday night. 2:15 to go. On the right side with the ball is Bengala. He'll drive up the lane, dish it out. Long three by Richardson, air ball. Falls into the hands of Ford, and Ford is fouled by Bodaya Bagoya. And that's an opportunity for Minnetonka to bring in more players. Don't know if the foul was by design, just to get some more players in off the bench for the skippers. You got Steingas checking in, number 24. Also into the game is lucky number 13, Steingas. 13 is Zachary Steingas. 24 is William Steingas. And 32, Vose is in the game. I mentioned him already. 31, Kraft is in the game. And then rounding out the crew is Bengala. So that's what Minnetonka has on the floor as the clock goes below 2 minutes, and the Skippers lead 66-40. With the ball is Ford, goes baseline, kicks to the corner, shot on the way, line drive, three is good for number 0, Strunk. And it's 66-43. Bengala goes baseline, gets too far underneath. His shot is blocked by Backenstad. More players coming in. Kemp off the bench for Eagan, and lucky number 13 is McKenzie, a sophomore for the Wildcats. 66-43, 1:37 to go. As we wrap up on the fourth game of the day on the Mighty 920, KDHL in Faribault, Minnesota. Free throw line extended left, with the ball there was Steingass. And now around and down it goes for Zachary Steingass. William had the ball a moment before that. 68-43. Strunk in the front court. Little head fake by Montour. Fadeaway blocked! Elevating is Vangala, blocking that ball. Coming the other way is Kraft. He'll pull up for a borderline college three. His foot might have been on the line. It would have been good for a high school three, but the shot missed. Kemp gets the rebound. And then Strunk drives in deep up the lane, but was cut off there by Steingass. Now with the basketball is Erickson. He gets in the lane, in close, misses the 5-footer. Ball out of bounds off Eagan. 45 seconds to go, 68-43 Minnetonka. It'll be an all-Lake Conference championship game in 4A Saturday night. More players getting set to come in for Eagan. They're going to run out of time before they clear the bench. Peterson is queuing up. Barron is queuing up, but Minnetonka has the ball. I can't call timeout. There is Vangala. He drives, the little floater misses. Eagan gets the ball. They should call timeout here to get these players in, but that might not happen. So with the dribble now is McKenzie. He goes out top to Strunk. You got 5 players that would love to at least appear in the game. And then right underneath, setting it up and in is Kemp. With 10 seconds to go, we'll get the player substitution timeout. Eagan changes all 5. Barron is into the game. Peterson is into the game. Kemp, well, I guess Kemp didn't go out. It looked like 5 guys are ready to come in, but Kemp stays on the floor. Benya is in the game, and I think I already said Barron. I'm missing the number over there. Number 15, that's Morgan. The clock is going to run out. Minnetonka with the basketball. Minnetonka with the win. The Skippers take this one 68-45. And championship Saturday is half set with the 3A and the 4A matchup for Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening respectively, all set to go. We're going to take a 1-minute break on the Mighty 920 KDHL and come back for some closing comments on this one back in 60 seconds.
You said it last year, but you didn't do it. Now you're thinking again, I gotta find someone to take care of my books. And it's never too late. Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service can do that to ensure next year's tax time is much less stressful. From farming to small businesses, Ackerman Accounting and Tax Services will customize a plan that best fits your needs. Just think, you can have an expert take care of your day-to-day and month-to-month accounting tasks, freeing you up to do what you do best, run your business. They even work with individuals. See what they can do for you. Call Ackerman Accounting and Tax Services today, 451-3399.
H&R Block offices in Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville remind you now is the time to get your paperwork in order for tax season. Book your appointment at one of the offices where in-person or drop-off filing is available. No computer program can ask every single possible tax question. The tax professionals in Lakeville, Faribault, and Owatonna average 10 years experience, and you can request the same preparer every year. File your way at H&R Block offices in Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund.
H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville. In fact, we'll present the stats of the game right now. Minnetonka wins this one 68-45 over Eagan. Eagan moves to the third place game, and Tonka advances to the title game. Minnetonka shot 52%, Eagan 30%. Really cold to start the game shooting for Eagan. 6 3-pointers in the game out of 22 tries for Minnetonka, and 5. That's all right. No problem. My glasses are going flying here. No problem. 6 out of 22 3-point shooting for Minnetonka. We're tightly packed into Media Row. And 5 for 19 3-point shooting for Eagan. Shooting was just kind of a tough thing today for the Wildcats, but you got to credit the Minnetonka defense, of course. Rebounding 30-24 in favor of Minnetonka. Turnovers actually was dead even at 9-9. As far as some of the scoring situations, points in the paint, Minnetonka 34-18 advantage, and points off turnovers, Minnetonka 12-4 advantage. For Eagan, the leading scorer was Schropfer with 16 points, 9 for Busley, 3 for Burke, 4 for Madigan, 3 for Strunk, 8 for Bachstad, and just a little deeper on my line chart here. And then Kemp ends up with 2. Leading rebounder was Madigan. For Minnetonka, a 21-point game for Ullman, 14 points for Kane, He had 7 rebounds as well. Ullman had 6. 12 points for Stefanowicz. He had 6 rebounds and 5 assists in the game. 9 points for Elamine, 6 for Wells, 2 for Richardson, 2 for Zach Steingass, and 2 for Bodai Bagoya. So those are some of your individual stats. Again, a 21-point game for Ullman to lead the way for Minnetonka. One of 3 players in double figures, and 4 players had 9 points or more in a game that was a little lower scoring than Minnetonka is accustomed to, but a game that was similar scoring. Eagan has just been a lower scoring team, and they give up fewer points than most other teams as well, averaging 60 points allowed per game. They do give up 68 today, but it was just too tough for them to score enough against Minnetonka, so 68-45 is the final score for the game. And we're going to update the bracket and give you the layout of the plan for tomorrow and then say goodnight. So it's Minnetonka advancing 68-45. That'll be the Saturday night game against Wayzata at 8 p.m. in 4A. In 3A, it's Totino Grace advancing to the championship game against Mankato East. Each team won today. And with that, it is a 1 o'clock. It's set 3A championship tilt between Totino Grace and Mankato East, the number 1 and number 2 seeds. Then the semifinals for Class A will tip off the day tomorrow to get all things set with regard to that. So tomorrow, Class A at noon, Mighty 920 KDHL, all these semifinal games. Top seed Cherry and number 5 seed Nevis, they'll square off. That'll be followed at 2 o'clock by West Central Area and Fertile Beltrami. And then tomorrow night, Brad Presteman will be in to help out on the call. It'll be Breck versus Minnehaha Academy. And Albany playing Lake City in the nightcap tomorrow. All these games at Williams Arena. I want to say thanks to our sponsors, Prime Garage Door and More, Owatonna Motor Company, Owatonna Heating and Cooling, Owatonna Auto Clinic, Federated Mutual Insurance, Amesbury Truth, First United Bank, as well as Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service, Costco Wholesale Owatonna, Faribault Foods, and H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville. A big thanks to Derek and Brad covering some of the games today. Jerry helping out with some of the early aspect of things regarding some board operation, and Rick as today moved along assisting from the KDHL studios as well. So we're at the midway point of coverage of the 76th time that KDHL Radio has presented baseline to baseline coverage of the State High School Boys Basketball Tournament. So we'll get queued up and freshened up for another big day tomorrow. The semifinals in the A and AA classes are on tap. Thanks a lot for listening. I'm very curious as to how much snow is on the ground outside. And with that, good night from Williams Arena.